Hi, everyone, and welcome to the podcast called Maria and Allan. Maria, how are you?
Mother Russia in the house. I'm pretty good. How about yourself, Alan?
I'm very good, but I see you're not self-isolating in your house. You're supposed to be in your house 24/7. Now you're outside around
Well,
all these people you're around.
where people show me one person. If there was one person, I probably would socialize with that person. It's my backyard.
You have a forced self-isolation situation there, don't you?
Yes, basically, I work remotely. Everything I do from phone coaching, interpretation, few other
Yeah,
things that I'm running, everything remotely from the phone and laptop. On
yeah.
top of it, I've moved to Florida 5 months ago, and I moved to Tampa right before this all happened. And Tampa is by default is already isolation. And
Yeah.
so now, on top of this all, I can't even socialize with people if I want to.
Well,
Physically socialize.
my view, we talked about this before. To me, it's not social distance, it's physical distance.
Physical
But
distance.
physical distancing doesn't mean we can't have emotional intimacy. So you and I were talking about it before that with given the situation, it forces people to look at themselves and look at their existing relationships. So that's a good topic for us to talk about today.
That is great because since I have been divorce coach for several years, helping women, and now I am coaching divorced men on relationship with women. A lot of people ask me this question: what do I think the divorce rate is going to be like after this
After this
social
ends,
distancing? Was that?
what's your answer?
I I am really not in the sense of fear or being afraid, but it's just an expression. I'm afraid to really see how this rate is going to jump because right now is already half of the population pretty much. It's that's the divorce rate, almost 50%. But I also think there would be a small percentage of those couples that become awakened, and they
Yeah.
will start actually seeing what's not working, what's going on, because they're triggered right in front of their face.
Yeah, it's almost like people are finally going to be forced to look in the mirror because everything externally has been stripped away. So one of two things are going to happen. Either people are going to use the opportunity to grow, or people are going to use the opportunity to get so irritated and so disgusted and realize it's not what they want. And they either run away from themselves or they realize they're in a relationship that doesn't work. So they want to get out. So it's
That's
one of the
right,
two
because
things that are going to happen.
definitely, because the only relationship we have with ourselves, the rest is just a reflection of it, right? So if your relationships are shady relationship, whether it's romantic, whether it's friendship or something, that is something to look inside actually onto.
So if you were to predict, I know it's impossible, just for fun, if you were to predict of all the people in North America that are going through this COVID virus isolation, what percent are going to come out of this and have learned something and are going to really dedicate themselves to live their life fully and appreciate every day and be grateful for what they have, and what percent won't? What would you predict?
To be honest, the way how the world has awakened lately, because I've become a very spiritual person in the past couple of years, maybe that's why I see this awakening. I I am really hopeful in this sense, and I would say maybe about 40% of the people will have a wake up call and start growing and really looking. At least all my circle is, maybe it's again because of my professional field and because of spirituality. I really see it. So about, I would say 40 to 60, because there's still majority of people who just do not want to grow
Yeah, I guess
because
the
it's
key,
a comfort zone.
yeah, if this whole experience ends up being a wake up call for a lot of people, and a lot of people become more conscious of in the environment, they become more conscious of being more active politically in a positive way, how to have better relationships, and mainly how to have a better relationship with themselves, then some good could come from it, like anything else. Turning lemon into lemonade, my dear.
Or let's turn lemons into grape juice so the rest of the world will wonder how you did it.
Grape juice.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's a
So
quote that I saw the other day on the internet, and I really loved it. I made a post on my business page about it's just showing more about it's like you can do more than anybody else and yourself expect from yourself, you
yeah,
know? So that's another thing.
talking about people's reaction to everything. A friend of mine who owns a pharmacy across the road, the pharmacy, of course, remains open all the time. He says you cannot believe the number of people flocking into his pharmacy requesting anxiety medication, and many of whom are afraid of death. They're afraid to die, which was
Well,
really
because
eye
death
opening
is
to me.
what? It is a fear of unknown
Yeah,
because we all going to die, absolutely every single person, and whether we die from the virus, whether we die on an accident or just because we got old, it really doesn't matter. We will die, and it's just the fear of what's going to happen afterwards that's scaring people. But there's so many alternatives into it because anxiety, it's a fear, right? Because as a coach who work with people um, who experience anxiety, you would agree with that. There's so many alternatives, meditations. I don't know, maybe you would suggest many other alternatives.
well, I was on a podcast the other day and they were talking about meditation. I said, well, meditation is a great tool, but it's only one of many. And a lot of times, meditation by itself, I wouldn't even suggest. When I got into meditation, there was a woman that I love very much, and I tried to encourage her to meditate. The more she meditated, the more angry she got because she looked inside, but she hadn't dealt with her anger. So that's why I'm a big believer in a more holistic approach: is find out who you are, what's holding you back, and also be open to something that may be beyond. Like when I came close to dying on the desert when I was 19, I was freaked out. So it was like that was my wake up call, but that led me to being more open to spirituality. So when I met these people that were living at a Zen meditation center, their eyes were calm and clear. I said, that's what I want. I moved in, lived like a monk. So there's always choices, like you say.
Yeah, definitely I agree with that. But taking out that sort of called COVID virus inside of ourselves that causing that fear, this is essential at this point because we could pop the pills, right, so to speak, to just treat the symptoms. But unless I mean, unless we remove the cause of it, we're just gonna continue mask it and mask it and mask it.
It's a great point. On that note, I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, look how dedicated everyone is to keep 6 feet away from each other, social distancing. What we need equally, even more so, is distancing ourselves from our negative beliefs, self-destructive beliefs that are keeping us from being healthy. Because if we get negative and fearful, the immune system will break down and the social distancing won't have much effect. So let's give equal attention to distancing from the negative crap in our minds.
Yeah, there are, cases. I mean, I do not have numbers or anything like that. Don't quote me on it. Don't catch me on the numbers. But there are proven evidence that patients who are cancer patients, those that live positive life, sometimes they even cure themselves because
Absolutely.
that's what they say. The cancer cells, they live on sugar and negative emotions. Basically,
Yeah,
eliminate those two poisons.
absolutely. I remember my mother was told she had 6 months to live. She lived for 20 years. She had an amazing mindset. What do you do from a coaching perspective? Do you find, because a lot of people feel during these times, the average person, I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, but the average person financially has some concerns. Not everyone has extra money to do the things that normally they would do in normal times. Has anything changed in your coaching? Do you have any special offers? Are you doing anything out of the ordinary as a coach?
Well, thanks for asking. Yeah, right now, actually, it's a perfect time to jump on different things and just find the ways how to monetize your skills and talents. Not that that was any other time was perfect for that. No, but right now it is because we have so much hands on our time. As far as coaching, what I just implemented right now, new something that I didn't do it as much before. I just offer 1 hour sessions just for those single men that just have really not nobody to talk to, being single right now and really ready to jump on figuring out what's holding them back, why they're first or second or third divorce happened? What didn't work? How can they improve themselves? What bullshit beliefs? It's just right. That's what I'm offering, because normally I have either a package for 1 month or 6 months, and I'm just offering right now hour, hour to hour, or a couple of hour sessions, so whatever works. Just a very individual approach.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing a couple of things. One is I've decided during these challenging times, I have a book called Mind Gone Wild, Finding Freedom Within the Chaos. So it's on my my timeline. People can access it, and I'll give them a free e-form, a copy of the book. And also for a period of time, I don't know how long, but especially during the next few weeks, if anybody feels the need for some, like yourself, some mini coaching, I have a half-hour session that normally is $100, and I'm just giving it for a basic cost of 20. So that's for somebody who really just wants a short-term kind of connection with someone, and certainly get some tools and techniques out of it. So that's part of what I'm doing.
That's great. I'm also hosting Zoom parties. They are
Oh, cool.
free.
Cool.
Yes, I have already so far 4 different groups. I have one tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I have one for Saturday. It's bring your own couch and bring your own beverage.
Bring your own wine.
Whatever that is, wine, whiskey, water, tea, coffee, whatever you drink, but make sure you bring your own couch with that. Because we have to somehow sit somewhere, lay somewhere, or stand, I don't know, whatever you do, surf perhaps on that couch, to do couch surfing, which I actually have done.
Fantastic. So before we say goodbye, what's one little tip that you would give the audience today? What's special tip for the day?
That is
I caught you off track.
Yeah, right? Because I have so many of those. There is always a perfect timing to go inside.
Perfect
inside
time
of yourself.
Yeah, I would say the fact that we have so much more time on our hands, use the time well, and watch your own mind. Watch how the mind could so easily get distracted in what happens if this doesn't go away for months? What happens if I get much more financially stressed? What happens if my relationship doesn't work? Catch yourself quickly when those negative thoughts come and turn them into a positive affirmation. That would be my tip for the day.
Beautiful. Very
so
beautiful.
How would people, we're going to leave our links to the website. So Maria Igorova coaching.com, allannight.com. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, so another way to find me, it's on Facebook. I am very active. I have both personal and business page. You can find me on either one. I'm also on Instagram. So there are many ways how you can get in touch with me. And I'm looking forward to speaking with any of you.
Fantastic. Yeah, one last thing I want to say, because I always like to leave with this, is that if anybody out there has a strong desire to be a coach, I have a certification coaching program. So it's on my website, allannight.com. If you or you know someone that's interested, please let us know. And Maria, I look forward to next week. Same time, same station.
Look, I have a shadow here. Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
Right? I enjoy a little bit right
I'm going to get on the plane. No, I can't even come across the border now. No, I can't do it.
I mean, I'm not sure as far as Canada, but domestic flights here within US still open.
No, our
very limited.
Our border's closed. We can't even go if we wanted to.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yes, because Allan is from Canada.
Toronto. You know, I just read today that Trump is talking about putting the police on the north border, our border, to make sure that anyone who needs to be quarantined. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Well,
because New York right now, it's New York State at highest risk due to number of deaths cases that were reported. So me being living
Toronto is also
third of my life in New York, I pretty much my heart really aching for the nurses that right now working in hospitals, and there was like death of a nurse that was just, I read in an article, because they don't have equipment and they get infected. My heart just aches, and that's just what happens. New York ran out of the state of emergency. That's why they closed the border, probably.
Well, let's keep everyone in our thoughts and prayers, and let's turn lemon into lemonade and do the best we can.
Or into grape juice.
Turn it into grape juice, yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm trying to find where the light is still. All right, bye.
Bye bye.